In 1967, Nigeria was pushed into a civil war that would become one of the deadliest conflicts in African history. The Nigeria-Biafra War did not begin suddenly. It was the result of years of political tension, ethnic division, and unresolved problems left behind after colonial rule. Nigeria gained independence from Britain in 1960. However, the country was created by merging many different ethnic and religious groups into one nation. The three largest groups were the Hausa Fulani in the north, the Yoruba in the west, and the Igbo in the east. These groups had different cultures, political interests, and religious beliefs. Instead of unity, independence exposed deep mistrust and rivalry. Political power quickly became a major issue. Many Nigerians believed that certain regions were favored over others. Elections were often disputed, corruption was widespread, and trust in the civilian government began to collapse. These problems created an unstable political environment across the country. In January 1966, Nigeria experienced its first military coup. Several political leaders were killed, most of them from the northern and western regions. Although the coup was not officially ethnic, it was widely perceived as being led by Igbo officers. This perception increased ethnic tension, especially in the north. A counter-coup followed in July 1966. This time, many Igbo military officers were killed. Soon after, violent attacks broke out against Igbo civilians living in northern Nigeria. Thousands were killed and many more fled back to the eastern region of the country. These events left the Igbo population feeling unsafe and abandoned by the federal government. As violence spread, trust between the regions completely broke down. Efforts were made to hold Nigeria together through negotiations, including the Aburi Accord in Ghana. The agreement was meant to reduce tensions and grant more regional autonomy, but both sides later disagreed on how it should be implemented. As a result, the agreement collapsed. In the eastern region, fear and frustration continued to grow. Many people believed that remaining part of Nigeria would lead to further attacks and political marginalization. The regional military governor, Colonel Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu, argued that the East could no longer guarantee the safety of its people within Nigeria. On May 30th, 1967, the eastern region declared independence as the Republic of Biafra. The declaration was supported by many Easterners who saw it as a necessary step for survival. However, the Nigerian federal government strongly opposed the secession. Leaders in Lagos believed that allowing Biafra to break away would threaten the unity and future of the entire country. Beyond politics and ethnicity, economic factors also played a role. The eastern region contained significant oil reserves, which were becoming increasingly valuable. Control over these resources was an important issue for the federal government and added another layer of tension to the conflict. In July 1967, fighting officially began. What was expected to be a short conflict turned into a brutal three-year war. The Nigerian government imposed a blockade on Biafra, cutting off food and supplies. This led to widespread famine, particularly affecting children and civilians. By the time the war ended in January 1970, millions had died from fighting, starvation, and disease. The Nigeria-Biafra War officially ended with Biafra's surrender, but its effects did not disappear. The war left deep scars on the nation and remains a sensitive topic in Nigerian history. Issues of unity, trust, and marginalization that contributed to the conflict are still discussed today.